Obviously, we have to start with holes for our fence posts. Fortunately, one of the girls that works with me dug these for me, so I did not have to. Now, I'm kind of just making sure that everything lines up, so when I put my horizontal cross beams up, they are going to, line up well and be able to attach to these vertical posts. Now, I'm using treated lumber here. You can definitely use treated lumber. You can do metal posts. A metal post is going to hold up infinitely longer, but you're still going to get a really long life out of a wood fence post, a treated fence post. So really kind of just depends on your budget for your project. I'm going to start to put a little bit of water in each of these holes, because what I'm going to do to make this as quick as possible and as easy as possible is I'm going to mix my concrete in my hole. You can mix it in a separate wheelbarrow or container and put it in, but it's just not necessary. I've done it both ways over the years, and this is going to be fine. This post, especially using a wood post, is going to rot out before you have to worry about this concrete. So I'm just wetting this as I kind of start to fill everything in. So it doesn't have to be perfect at this time. I mean, you don't want it crazy wonky, but if you have it approximately where you want it, you can do a semi-level. You're gonna bump it when you start mixing the concrete in, so we just kind of check it as we go. But here I've kind of wedged in some bricks, or you can use old concrete scraps or rocks. We're not building a foundation here. This is a fence post. So to have a little bit of filler in there like that, I have no concern with that on a fence situation. I'm just working my way through, varying between water, adding this cement mix, and then mixing it in, and then a little bit more water, cement mix, mixing it in, and just making sure that I get it mixed. I have heard of people that are like, I just put this in here, and then I put water, I put the mix, and then I put water. I've never done it that way. I do try to mix it in the hole, but I've heard people do that. So your call, whatever you want to do here. But keep in mind, when we dig these holes, we're digging them at least 2 feet deep. So we have an 8-foot post, except for my one that's trimmed in the middle, and it's 2 feet deep. So we're getting a good portion of our length underground to get a good support. So one thing to think about where you're not going to want to stress about this too much is these are always going to be warped a little bit. So when I try to check my level on here, I don't know if you can see from there, but see down here it's not touching, up there it's not touching, but right here it is. It's just because this board is warped. So we're going to get close to level, and then we're going to just use our judgment with our eyes, because this post is just not, it's got a curve to it. Good luck getting one that doesn't. So I'm gonna take a step back and look at it. I'm all right with it. So we're gonna go with that. So see how our fence posts are all slightly below ground level. If we leave them like that, we're basically just creating a spot where the water can collect. It's the snow climate. It's gonna get cold here soon. And then it's just gonna sit at the bottom of that fence post, which that's probably how a lot of fences are. They survive. People have filled in with dirt. But what we want to do is we want to build that concrete up and slope it away, so we're preventing any snow or rain or moisture buildup from sitting on that fence post base as much as possible. So we're going to build up a thicker mix of concrete and slope it away. I didn't bring any concrete tools with me. I don't have any over here. I'll go check in the garage. I don't think I do. So we'll just do the best we can by hand and just make it thicker and taper it away. So there's my little scrap, but I'm going to do cross beam, so we'll be okay. I seriously wonder what I used such a small piece of a 4x4, a treated 4x4 for. What purpose? But anyway, it will work for our middle support. So we got our 3 posts in, and we'll let those set up. To put up my horizontal boards, I kind of made a wedge with a 2x4 just so I could hold up one end most of the way. And then I got one side attached. I put one nail in so I could still pivot and turn it. And then once I got everything balanced out, I put the other side in. Then I did the bottom too. And then this is a cul-de-sac. So this whole street is a loop, and all these backyards are in the middle, and they come together like a pie. And so there's a neighbor's fence that's falling down into the property on the backside. So you see me kind of cutting out a section here. That's just the part that's collapsed and really in the way. I trimmed back what I had to be able to mount this up. In general, I'm building this with my nail gun because a nail gun is going to go much faster than screws. However, where these horizontal beams go into my vertical posts, I am putting a screw in each one just to help over time, because as the wood expands and contracts, it's really easy for the nails to work their way out. So I'm putting at least one screw in each cross section. Make sure that you're using nails that are rated to be outside. Additionally, make sure they're not crazy long, so when you shoot them through the picket and the 2x4, you don't have a huge length of nails sticking out the back that might be a hazard for somebody on the backside. In my case, I'm choosing to work from left to right. So when I'm setting this left picket, I'm really making sure that I get it level because I'm going to work off of this. Now, some people are going to choose to use spacers. These pickets were really wet when I got them from my home improvement store, so I know as they dry out, they're going to pull apart and put a gap in the fencing anyway. So I'm not worried about them expanding. I know they're going to dry and shrink. And so I'm putting them, just butting them right up against each other. So I'm getting this first one nice and plumb, and then I'm going to just work my way across. Now you're also going to notice I'm putting a screw on the top of this picket and one at the other far end. The other picket at the far right side, I'm not worried about that being perfect. I'm just getting it in because I want to put this string across the top. And the reason for that is this is on a slope. And so as I go upward, I don't want a picket to be up, down, up, down. I want a nice, gradual, consistent upward slope. And so when I get to the end, I'm actually going to remove that right picket and either trim it down or put my final one in. So it's just a placeholder for the screw and the string right now. So obviously I can't count good. So I'm gonna go get a piece just to kind of put it at an angle there, just in case someone had like an itty bitty dog, just the way those fences go together. Same thing, neighbor's fence in the back is falling down. So I'm gonna put a little board there. So I need to go to Home Depot and get 2 more. And so there we are with the little blocks on the side. They don't look great, but really just trying to make sure that no little creatures get through there.